Раз. Раз. Привет, друзья. Вот только закончил работать. Сегодня на 2,5 часа индийскую хрень переводил, боевик. Марко называется. Это пиздец, блядь. В очередной раз я понял, почему я не смотрю индийские фильмы, блядь. Ёбнуться можно, блядь. Тут такой глум, блядь. Фильм призван, блядь, шокировать, блядь. Там, конечно, много музонов, все такие крутые, блядь, все пиздец. Там рэп, блядь. И индусы, блядь. Это пиздец. А потом 7 допов на ужастики, там, которые я раньше переводил. Кровавый крюк, 5 допов. Ролик на куски и ролик на... А, не ролик, а доп на бескожаные заживо. Так, что мы тут делаем? Вот с этим непонятно. Не, вот с этим непонятно, что делать. Кривая. Кому это отдать письмо, блядь? И чего с ним делать, блядь? Вот это я так до сих пор не могу понять, блин, кому это, блин. Вот здесь-то никому, понятно. Он здесь даже не показывает... Это что? Погружение, понятно. Кунахте. Ничего. Врагах юга. Ничего. Несмотря на то, что мы же нашли этого, ну, то есть подмастерья кузнеца, которого тоже заманили в пещеру, блин. То ли это, не то ли это, блин. Никто из них не захотел это письмо видеть. То есть ни к ним, получается, имеет отношение это задание, блин. Что тут еще есть у нас? Сарское пристанище, ну, тем более не сюда. Так. А другое, что у нас тут? Долгое поражение. Или отправиться в Сарос. Хер его знает. Наверное, это. Что тянуть-то? Что это за хрень? Ну, это понятно. Вызывалочка. Нет, хотя нет, там же своя есть. Не, надо вызывалочка, да. Это отправлялочка, блядь. Вообще не знаю, есть тут что-нибудь, какой-нибудь лут или нет, кроме них самих. Так. Ну, не самые двое крутые. Боевой маг. Меньше, конечно.
his burden, the man beneath the myth. I am the face that time forgot, the name that was never enough.
First, you used these people to win yourself a kingdom, and now you herded them here under threat of being stomped to death by giants if they leave or disobey. After all that they've gone through, all that they've done, all that they've suffered, this is how you intend to repay them?
No kingdom will stand with people like them within its borders. They would have to change their ways. The Del Rita are not ready for this. You know this.
You did worse than all of them combined, and you are the one responsible for all they've done so far. They fought for your name and under your banners. Does this mean you're not fit to be a king? Not ready to have a kingdom?
I left the heritage of Pendragon behind me. I severed the ties between myself and my tribe. I lost all that tied me to the past when I became king. I set a new path for myself. They are not ready to do that.
Bullshit. You forced them to go against their sacred traditions. You destroyed their identities. They betrayed their comrades because you ordered them to. They kidnapped the children of the giants because you told them to do it. Everything they did was so that you could win this war. And now what? You're going to punish them for being your best, fiercest soldiers, most loyal of your men?
This is not...
Oh, stop with your excuses already. You broke them, and now you're abandoning them to starve or freeze to death in these damned lands.
This kingdom needs to be built on peace, Caradoc. Letting them live among merchants, lords, and ladies in Camelot or Timberwall. How would that go?
Exactly as anyone would expect it to go.
So we would end up with a civil war. Right after we won the war that almost annihilated us all.
Oh, damn you. I've had enough. I stood by you through everything. Even what you did to me. To Seawall. I let it all slide. I told myself it was for something. For a noble cause. But this is where I draw the line. I renounce my oaths, and I'm walking away. Put a blade in my back if that helps you sleep. I don't care. Not anymore.
Now I remember it all. I left the best of my people here. I betrayed their loyalty. And for what? Everything is in ruin. Everything I struggled to build is corrupted. This land, it had a glorious past, but it has no future. There is no way to save it. And what if my decision cost them the ability to grow? What if instead of helping them become better, I forced them to stay set in their ways? I may have been right about the diagnosis, but now I see that I could have been wrong about the cure. The tribes helped us win the war. They were fearless and followed every order. They were the most loyal of all. But I left them broken. And after the war, their bloodlust was insatiable. I had to do something. This felt like the only choice. I come from the Pendragon bloodline, a heritage drenched in as much blood as that of the Del Rita. A heritage that pillaged and fought in the homelands for longer than anyone can remember, and unable to build anything that withstood the test of time. I decided to leave it behind me when we won the war against the Four Dwellers, and built our kingdom on Avalon on stronger foundations. Now we've seen that my bloodline must have been cursed. The giants sided with our enemy. We had to find a way to remove them from the equation. So, under cover of night, the tribes stole their children. I told the giants their offspring were our hostages, and that we would slaughter them if they refused to bend the knee. One of the most humiliating moments of that whole war, both for me and for the Del Rita. Caradoc had the clearest eyes of any of us. He saw things for what they were. And I think I destroyed that. Destroyed him with all I did. I turned him into this. And now he's only a shadow of the man I once knew. He used to carry hope. Now all he carries is vengeance. There's nothing left. Nothing worth saving. Nothing worth rebuilding. I gave everything I had to this land. My blood, my soul, my name. And the land devoured it all. I betrayed the ones who believed in me. I cut down the men who fought for me. I turned away from my own blood to build something better. And all I built was another ruin. I thought I was forging a future. I was just extending the fall. Do what you want. There's nothing about this land that I recognize anymore. All I've ever done got turned into dust, corrupted against my intentions, destroyed. Why bother?
Once and future king, you return. Speak your will through the mortal you now inhabit. Is it time for us to awaken?
Вот тут ты призадумаешься, да?
The Dalrida have long been our allies. Through their eyes, we have watched your kingdom fall into corruption. Camelot will fall. Your will shall be done.
We are ready to begin the moot. We were only waiting for your return, once and future king. You were strong enough to walk the king's thread, and you conquered it. What is your will, my king? What decision have you made regarding the giants? Glory be to you, once and future king. Fame and honor to you for all time. Thanks to you, Camelot will fall, and with it, the dead laws and the suppression of the Dalrida tribes. Thank you, my king, for your intervention. I, the voice of the Dalrida tribes, accept your decision with humility and gratitude.
The king's decision pleases me greatly. My tribe will once again have the chance to prove itself in battle. Nothing stirs a Volkir's soul more than the chaos of true war. There, we shall be at our strongest. I only hope Camelot's armies have the courage to meet us in the field, instead of cowering behind their city walls and forcing us into some tedious siege.
So be it. War. We march on Camelot, and the giants shall clear the path for us. My plans to rebuild the tribe must wait. But perhaps the Thoid scattered across the land will join our march. I only hope that many of us return home safely. Without Thoid blood, rebuilding a tribe as strong as we once were will be no easy task.
все спят, наверное.
Now you ask me, when it was your choices and actions that led to those consequences. Not all of the Dalrita came, and this is surely not the outcome Gurfhana hoped for. But since you ask for my thoughts, the Dalrita united would be an unstoppable force. If we wish to avoid bloodshed, perhaps it's good that not everyone followed the voice of the tribes. Your decision was just. Imprisoning the Four Dwellers for centuries. I would never have expected such a thing from Ephraim the First. It is true that during the war, the Four Dwellers were our greatest foes. Yet I could never have imagined enslaving those who came in peace, who sought only to learn from us, to speak with us. If the Stone Wardens were founded on such dishonor, then it is only fitting that they pass into memory with the death of their last member.
Так, ну помимо конклава нам надо еще же 2 гробницы открыть. И еще DLC-шка. Покурим. одно место несложно найти, конечно, потому что там рядом перемещалка. А второе не помню где, блин. Так, кружочек сделали. Ну, получается, все. И осталась только одна. Только где она? Надо посмотреть. Так, осталась гробница рыцаря предательства. Так, посмотрим. Где-то здесь. Прямо рядом со святилищем друидов. Так, фолькеров. А, вон она. Далече. Взаимодействие.
You kept us waiting. Your tombs gathered quite a lot of cobwebs and spiders. Best tidy up a little before you settle in for eternity. Ah, of course. Of all the forgotten knights who never came, you stand closest to the king. When you finally join us, you'll tell us what it was like to hear his voice, to share so many battles by his side. I won't deny my envy, but in death, you'll be our equal. And then we'll speak as comrades. I've no need to assume. Everyone dies, sooner or later. But yes, you're right. I suppose I had already decided your mission, whatever it may be, was bound to fail. Perhaps I was mistaken. Forgive me. I've been resting in a tomb for the past 3 centuries, so not much, really. I've been resting in a tomb for the past 3 centuries, so not much, really. Unless, of course, you're pointing out that I'm not in my own grave. In which case, fair enough. But what can I say? I do enjoy the occasional posthumous strolls. I came to this tomb of my own accord, as did many of us. I knew our time was drawing to a close. The gates opened, and so I entered. I had a few words with Govanon and then headed to the crypt prepared for me. With my own gravestone on my back, I treated it as my penance. Sometimes, when men want something badly enough, they're capable of truly awful things. I killed 5 knights. Each one stood higher than me in the race for a seat at the round table. 4 I cut down during a tournament. The last I drowned in a river. He was drunk as a skunk. Didn't even comprehend what was happening. Quite the burden to repent for, wouldn't you say? Fine, lad. If someone's to watch over my corpse, I'm glad it's him. I imagine long ago he had more to do. It's been a while since anyone new passed through. I see. You pity the wretch who never reached his dreams. How noble of you. Truly. But I propose something fairer. Let's test it. Your cause, my worth. If I lose with dignity, I am all yours. If you still consider me a good candidate for service, but if you fall, then you'll lie in the tomb that's been waiting for you since before you drew your first breath. So, what do you say? Splendid. Let's begin. Here is my oath. I shall be ready to fight at your side whenever you should call upon me. Thank you.
Красавчики.
It is you. I wasn't expecting such a grandiose visit, my king. And I see that you were brought here by some lad. That's kind of you, stranger. But you'll have to pardon the mess. These halls ain't fit to welcome a king, nor the one who bears him within. Ah, right. Sometimes I forget that not everything's as clear as it once was. Truth be told, I tend to lose sight of a few important things myself. But to the point, my name is Gavonin. I'm a craftsman, a blacksmith, and the keeper of this place. The pleasure is mine, kind lad. And your grace, of course. This, kind lad, is the tomb of the knight who never came. There was once a grim legend that claimed this tomb was built out of fear. Fear of an ancient curse Morgana cast upon Arthur. She foretold that all the great knights who were denied the king's favor and honors would rise at the end of days as an army of the dead. They would march on Camelot, seize the capital, shatter the Round Table to dust, defile the royal relics, and from the ruins, forge a kingdom of their own. But those are just stories from the old days. This tomb opens only for two kinds of brave souls. Knights who were never granted a seat at the Round Table, and the king himself. I've been sitting here long enough to know what kind of knight visits the tomb. And your visit is unlike any other. No, I would cease to be. I'm bound here by an oath I made to his grace. The one who now dwells within you, but is perfectly fine. It is my home, and so it shall remain for all time. Anyone who finds their way here usually comes seeking eternal rest, and rest like that calls for a proper gravestone. I carve each one with my own chisel. They also bring battle-scarred equipment. My hammer mends what needs mending, so it will serve them well in the land of the dead. And the dead? Well, they need a keeper. Someone to watch over them when unrest stirs. Believe me, those who chase glory in life don't always lie in peace. If we do not speak of them, then we won't stir their slumber. The dead prefer silence. Best not to call their names. Really kind of you, lad, but no. Or, well, maybe there is something. You see, I once made a habit of carving gravestones in advance, so that any knight arriving here could choose the one beneath which they'd rest for eternity. Unfortunately, I've misplaced my chisel. It slipped and fell all the way into the depths. Clang, clang, clang. If you could find it, I would be most grateful. Aye, fewer knights these days, and even less knighthood to speak of. No wonder there's so few of them come. Such are the times we live in. Ah, Zovёt still lingers then. I'm not surprised. Some knights wear death like a cloak, and even the grave forgets to close behind them. As for the empty grave, every soul that walks this tomb finds their name carved somewhere. It doesn't mean the end is near, only that the place remembers who you are, even if you forget. When the body finally rests in the grave, the epitaph completes itself. Hope you find something worth your time.
А, блин, забыл. Был же в этом самом Кунакте, надо было продать, блин, все эти, блин, красненькие. Ну ладно, ничего. Еще сходим туда. Ну и все.
Welcome, Your Grace, and the one who walks with him. Step carefully.
Так. Попало, видимо, туда. Чудненько, нашли зубило. 100. Хорошо.
Glad to see you alive. You did? I was starting to fear that one day I'd have to descend to the lower levels myself. I try not to go that deep. Makes me drowsy. Sometimes I feel like lying down in one of the empty tombs myself. Thank you. It is a great honor to receive aid from the king and his companion. Here, take this. I hope you both will find it useful. Hope you find something worth your time.
It must be hard to be denied what you believed was your destiny. To spend your life chasing the unattainable, only to die unfulfilled. It's no wonder they can't find peace. There's a grave ready for all of us somewhere. Though, maybe not all of us get to see it before it's our time. Did it frighten you? Such a stark reminder of your mortality. No one truly does. Fear of death is woven into us, as surely as breath. But it's not death itself we fear. It's what we leave unfinished. You've seen how it lingers, how it torments those meant to be at peace. Live without regrets, and you'll have nothing to fear when your time comes. The road is long, but the next tomb awaits.
Meeting him made me reflect on one thing. How many great knights were swallowed by their ambition to sit at the round table. Somewhere along the way, things must have gone terribly wrong. If men could kill one another for something that was meant to be an honor, I pity the lost knights of this world. I'm glad this one will have a chance to fight at his king's side and serve me, as he always wished to.
Непонятно, краденый это или нет. Надо дойти до встречи, смотрите, значок располагается. Что-то как-то я... Не... А, ну, сверху, да. Значит, не краденая. Значит, более краденые красным отмечаются. Ну, чудно. Так, посмотрим. Кривая трубка. Что же это все-таки такое? Угу. Так. Группа рабочих. Так.
Nice to see you. bastard!
Sneaks up on me. Show me what you're made of!
А где третий? Я же третьего не убивал. Где он? Бежал, что ли? Когда это я успел?
Face every threat. I will be your downfall.
Getting restless.
The sun doesn't rise the same anymore.
Hey, you need something? Make it quick. I've got a minute. She is? She never said anything. Damn it, Enora. It's been rough for us, but I didn't think it was that bad. Thank you for telling me. I'll speak to Cade or Sign. Maybe they'll come up with something. Here, I know it's not much, but it's all I can give you. You've done me a great favor. I won't forget it. Be safe out there.
Being a Camelot soldier? And what's the point in that? If Camelot gets pissed, there won't be anything left to pick up. Sure.
The sun doesn't rise the same anymore.
Так, где же у нас северо-запад Камелота? Ой, Кунахта.
Help a soul out on your journey.
Ah, a fine day for business. And perhaps for bargains, too.
Так, северо-запад. А с какой стороны смотреть? Стоп. А, это, да, это дезертиры. Ага. Нет, это не то. Западная часть Нижнего города. Поле с рабочими. Западная часть Нижнего города.
Always good to have a little rest.
Где это поле с рабочими, блин? Точно не здесь. По идее, в запад, да, показывает.
Connacht's a strange place. Folk here are stubborn, I'll give them that.
Hold your ground, men. Here's just a flavor.
Странно, что если я не шпанал раньше. Наверняка же проходил здесь не раз. Где челик, который нам нужен? Титан, по-моему, да, там? итоге никого нету. Вообще там же есть костер, зачем мне? Вот он. Ну и что он не говорит со мной? Так, а что с Вордом-то с этим делать? Так, блядь, долго они будут пилить-то? Ладно, покурим.
This way. Oh, an adventurer. Great. Just the kind of person I need. You dress funny. No one from here walks around looking like that. And there's something in your eyes. Can't quite put my finger on it. But your gaze isn't the same as the folks around here have. So, if you're not from Kunacht and not from Camelot, that makes you an outsider. And an outsider means adventurer. I've been trying to get the guards to hear me out, but they just roll their eyes and tell me to stop whining. But I swear, something's going on. I think we've got a problem with Camelotian deserters. Deserters, I tell you. Roaming the area, sneaking into camps, stealing anything that isn't nailed down. Supplies, tools, maybe even weapons. And do you think anyone cares? Of course not. I agree. But they won't. You know why? Because that would mean admitting they have deserters in the first place, and that's not Camelot's style. To the outside world, it's all smiles and sunshine with them. They need to keep up appearances, make sure we're all eager to relocate to Camelot. You don't know what it's like to live here. It's unbearable. Everyone's poor. The Menhir is failing, and the Red Death is creeping closer every day. And Camelot? It'll be even worse. Here, at least I'm someone. There, I'd be nothing. And I won't rot in a cell. Over my dead body!
Так, ну да, надо проверить. Все.
Help a soul out on your journey.
Excellent. Here's your gold. I'll await your return.
Так, а что с этим вороном-то? И безмолвное слово тоже посмотрим, что с ним-то. Ага, все ясно. То, чего я избегал. часов, что ли, уже?
Please, state your business. Go, the hunter waits.
Blessings upon you. Certainly. Kai's blessings know no bounds, but sometimes it's useful to seal them in a handy flask. May Kai's word always guide you. In the word, you will find solace.
Риган. Так, а нам Риган нужен или нет? Ну да. А, в сундуке может быть письмо. Так, а что за письмо? Хрен его знает, что за письмо. вроде все взял. Сейчас.
Blessings upon you.
Так, где
May
же
Kai's
оно?
word always guide you. In the word, you will find solace.
Выкупить. Так это ж не все, что я ей продавал.
Blessings upon you.
Ну, по идее, Значит, все.
May Kai's word always guide you. In the word, you will find solace.
Непонятно, где ж тогда это письмо, блин. Ну ладно, хрен с ним.
So, you finally made it. Took you long enough. I hope you're ready, because this is it. The beginning of the end. This is the Charred Conclave, a graveyard for druids, burned alive as scapegoats for the Red Death. It's a reminder of what happens when people fear what they don't understand. They spoke out. They should have stayed silent, kept to their herbs and potions, but they didn't. They believed their ancient knowledge, ugly and painful truths from times long past, could save Avalon from the plague. And maybe they were right. But people don't want the truth when it's covered in blood. Cruel rituals, sacrifices, hard choices in search of real results. They called it wisdom, knowledge gleaned from the weirdness itself. But to the people, everything they did was unnatural, costly, and frightening. The druids believed their results would justify the costs. They thought Avalon would see them as saviors. But the people didn't understand, and fear turned to fire. Well, the Red Church and their politicians made sure of that. The druids became a convenient enemy, a way to shift the blame and tighten their grip on power. It's always so simple, so banal, isn't it? Well, death doesn't always mean an ending. It was a sacrifice so costly, so cruel, so pointless, that it tore a rift in the fabric of this world. An ultimate wound. And so you're the closest you'll ever come to seeing the true shape of this world. To greet you. I was once where you are now. A knight with questions, searching for answers. That search led me to this place. And here I found my answers. Now, it's your turn. Well, first, you're going to meet my former employer. We don't see eye to eye anymore, but we both realize that our collaboration yields results, as shown by you being here. He'll try to sugarcoat the hard truths I've been telling you from the beginning, spin them differently. Never mind. Why waste time here talking about it when you're just a step from the end? It's best if you just go forth and see for yourself. Just remember, this is the point of no return. Once you step through, there's no going back. But if you've come this far, I suppose you already knew that. Go on. He's waiting for you.
At last we meet. I've heard much about you. Your choices, your determination. Caradoc isn't easily impressed, but he was impressed with you. Few dare to seek the truths buried in Avalon's shadows. Fewer still make it this far. I was the first. Caradoc followed when my brethren burned and the tear opened. And now, here you are. A truly rare and joyful occasion. Oh, forgive my lack of manners. I am Orin, the last apprentice of Merlin, and the last archdruid of Avalon. I've carried the weight of this land's secrets longer than I care to admit. But names mean little. What matters is the task before us. What lingers here, it's older than Avalon. Older than anything we know. What you see is the beginning of weirdness itself. Its purest form, raw potential, unshaped by anything but its lack of boundaries and limits. Beautiful, isn't it? Oh, precisely the opposite of what Caradoc wants. I want you to help me resurrect King Arthur. Properly this time. Ridiculous, I know. But yes, that's what it boils down to. At some point, we stopped seeing eye to eye and chose different paths. Ultimately, though, both our paths led to you. Yes, please let me explain. By the end of his life, Arthur became obsessed with his legacy. He left mementos, artifacts that embodied the virtues he wanted Avallon to preserve. Excalibur, a symbol of loyalty and sacrifice. The crown of Pendragon, a beacon of courage and resilience. The shield of Palamedes, wisdom and independence. But Merlin and the others didn't believe that would be enough. The memory of war and the fragility of peace was still too fresh. So they acted. When the king died, his soul wasn't allowed to move on. It was shattered, bound to those artifacts. A clever solution, but ultimately flawed. They feared losing what Arthur represented more than losing Arthur himself. They thought the king's essence would endure if bound to his relics. I tried, and I found his humanity. It's here, bound, kept safe. But the Four Dwellers' aspects was left to drift, untethered between worlds. Finding it needed more than magic. It needed someone like you. The horrors you endured on that island gave you something no one else has. You can move through the weirdness, touch it, and return whole. That's why you found the king's soul, bound it to yourself, and came back. You flatter me. No, I couldn't have predicted all of that. I merely nudged the Red Church in the right direction and asked Caradoc to assist where I couldn't. I can see you're still doubting me. I want to bring back our king, whole and complete. I want him to lead again and safeguard Avalon's future. Because I've seen what happens without him. Weirdness preys on the weak, and the people are too divided to stand against it alone. Arthur is their only hope. Ever they're left without him, without guidance, chaos takes hold. Division festers. You've seen it during your journeys. If things continue this way, Avalon will tear itself apart long before weirdness finishes the job. They will follow him. That's what people do. When weirdness comes to their doorstep, they'll beg for a savior. And Arthur will answer the call. Help me bring the king back, whole and complete. That's all I ask of you. Now you need to go further. I made my case. Please keep in mind what I told you. This is the only way for Avalon to survive.
I was there when it all began, when Arthur first set foot on Avalon. I was a knight in his army. We believed in him, in his dream, in his kingdom. And for a while, it was glorious. Every battle felt like a step closer to peace. Every sacrifice justified by the dream we shared. But then came the cost. The war crimes, the impossible decisions, the massacres, slaughters, and irrational cruelty. We turned from knights into butchers, all because his dream demanded it of us. At first I told myself it was necessary, that it was the price of building something great. But the longer it went on, the harder it was to believe. That's when I realized Arthur wasn't a god, a savior, or a king. He was just another man, no different from the rest of us. And no man should have the power to demand such sacrifices. But do you understand why I want it so much? I'd like to believe that after 600 years I've moved past pettiness. You need to understand that people thought, and still think, that he was more than human. But he wasn't. He made mistakes, just like any man. And the cost of those mistakes was always paid for by others. I've seen what happens when people cling to kings and myths. They wait, they follow, they waste their lives on promises that never meant anything. But that's not my problem. I'm not here to fix Avalon or to free anyone. What comes after doesn't matter. Let it all burn, let it rot, let it rebuild. I won't be here to see it. Then let it. If this world can't stand without a dead king propping it up, maybe it deserves to fall. Call it chaos, call it freedom, I don't care. Let them rise, let them fall, let them tear each other apart. I just want to watch it all come down, to see the last lie collapse under its own weight. What comes after? That's for the ones still standing to figure out. Let them stand, let them fall. It's not my concern. If the weirdness takes them, so be it. At least it won't be another king's failure. Another lie propping up a dying world. It'll just be what it is. Arthur's the only myth that still holds weight. And when he's gone, the rest will rot with him. A puppet king, another empty throne, none of it will last. Maybe they'll keep pretending for a while. Maybe they won't. I've lived longer than any man should. Seen more than anyone should ever bear. And I've waited centuries for this moment, this chance, to end it all. To end him. Arthur isn't Avalon's hope. He's its curse. He's the chain that keeps it bound to the past, dragging it down no matter how far it tries to climb. We were fools to tamper with forces we didn't understand. Resurrecting Arthur, infusing him with powers of the weirdness. We didn't just bend the natural laws, we shattered them. Such violations of nature's order cannot go unanswered. The bill comes due, sooner or later. Always. This cannot be allowed to continue. Listen, it's taken longer than I ever imagined. But now, here we are. You've done what no one else could, what even I couldn't do. You've brought Arthur's soul back together, almost complete, but not quite. And because of you, I can finally finish what I started centuries ago. So, thank you for bringing us to this moment. You're close now. Just one more step. The last fragment of Arthur's soul is waiting for you. Complete what you came here for. And then, we'll meet again. As allies, or as enemies. That's up to you. Go. Find the last piece, and let's end this. Whatever comes next, I'll be ready. I hope you will be too.
Затянули болтовню этой всей. Все эти глупые вопросы, когда он сказал уже все, что, блядь, спрашивать-то его. Ну, сказал ему плевать. Зачем спрашивать что-то еще? Плавать нельзя, что ли?
You've come. The one who carries what's left of me. Please, don't come any closer. Don't force me to think about coming back again. Just let me finally die. Because I've had enough. Enough of being torn apart and stitched back together. Enough of being used, shaped, and forced to be something I'm not. Do you know what it is like to be a king of nothing? To see the people you swore to protect suffer because of your choices? Or worse, in your name. I've seen towns burnt to the ground, families destroyed. All because someone thought it would serve the greater good. And they called it loyalty. They called it justice. I've been dragged through every dream, every lie they've built around me. And I'm tired. Tired of the weight, of the expectations, of all of it. And most of all, I'm tired of failing. Orin wants a king, not me. He doesn't see the broken man behind the myth. He sees a symbol, a weapon to wield against the weirdness. But symbols aren't people. They're empty. And the more they're used, the more they hollow out the one who carries them. That's all I've ever been to Orin and the Druids. Do you know what it's like to be a weapon? To be forged, sharpened, and thrown at every problem? He thinks ending me will free Avalon. But what then? Without an idea, a light to guide them, they'll stumble, lose their way, and turn on each other. People always seek something to follow, something to believe in. Take that away, and they'll tear each other apart trying to find it. Or worse, build something even crueler in its place. I want release. I want to stop being a tool in their endless struggle. Kill me. Destroy the last piece of me and use the energy however you wish. Take it yourself and become the new king. Give it to someone else. I don't care. Just don't let me come back again. Let me die. Not as Arthur, not as the king, just as a simple, normal human being. I don't care. Do you know how freeing that is, to finally not care what happens next? Whether Orin gets his king or Caradoc gets his ruin? To not feel the burden of all my failures. To not see my memory tarnished, my plans, goals, and ambitions dragged through the mud. To not see the suffering my name causes. No more deaths in my shadow. No more kingdoms built on my bones. Another way? There's always another way, isn't there? Another cycle, another resurrection, another lie to keep the world spinning. But please, not for me. Not anymore. I've had enough. I don't want another chance. I want this to be over. Isn't that what you've been doing all along? Carrying what's left of him? You've already taken up the humanity I was meant to represent. Doesn't that prove Arthur doesn't need me anymore? Do what you think is right. That's all I can tell you, because whatever you decide, it will finally be your choice, not mine. Not theirs. And that's the only thing I've ever wanted. You hold the choice. I don't care who you side with. Orin, Caradoc, or no one at all. You have all of my soul. Use it. Take it for yourself. Or give it to someone else. I don't even want to know. Do what you will with it. Just let me go. Let me finally rest. Let me die. Please. Let me go. Let me finally rest.
Help me bring the king back, whole and complete. That's all I ask of you. Now you need to go further. I made my case. Please keep in mind what I told you. This is the only way for Avalon to survive.
Go on. He's waiting for you.
Nice to see you. Let me go. Let me finally rest.
И как это сделать? Непонятно. Покурим.
Carried a dying king across the bones of a dying world. Now you stand before what started it all. An idea. I am the reason there must be an ending. I do not guide. I do not judge. I exist so that something can be chosen. I do not offer meaning. I require that one be made. You have brought all things to their conclusion. Now, decide what must remain. Choose, and let the shape of the world follow. You will be seen. You will be followed. You will be blamed. You will shape the world to become its witness. You will vanish into the story you chose to restore. You will break the frame, and what follows will not remember you. Who do you have in mind? He would rule through law, not command. He would listen, if he understands. He would dissolve the old and raise the tribes, a new law, written in old blood. He would shift the center, unity if the mountain holds. He would build a world with no kings. Work would shape worth, but power does not disappear. It adapts. She would lead through care and quiet faith. Reverence would rise, but so would the silence around it. He would trade crowns for contracts. A world ruled by law, not lineage. Prosperous, but unanchored. He would break the seal and flee. His hope lies not in healing Avalon, but in leaving it behind. The weirdness calms, but not all will follow what becomes of them. Then the idea shall be claimed, its shape worn, its burden made yours. But first, you have to bring silence to what refuses to be forgotten.
If this is what you want, then take it, my friend. But promise me you will learn from my mistakes.
No, I won't let this happen. Not again.
You think any other human could wield this power? I endured 600 years of pain, of suffering, of loneliness. I made the sacrifices, me! And now you think you can take it from me? The hubris. No. I reject your claim. I will reforge Avalon. Perfect this time.
You took Arthur's power for yourself. Whatever drove you, need, ambition, or will alone, the strength of a king was now yours to command. Maybe you weren't ready. Maybe nobody ever is. But you decided to try. It's a heavy thing, trying to do right where others have failed. Still, you stepped forward, carrying the soul and every choice that brought you here. You ruled not as Arthur reborn, but as yourself, flawed, resolute, untested. Avalon changed beneath your hand, and history will decide what that truly meant. With One Eye and Captain Brandon working side by side, the South found a peace it hadn't known in years. The roads stayed open, the fields were guarded, and the people finally felt safe. No longer bound to Camelot or the Knights of the Round Table, it became a land ruled by its own people on its own terms. Because of you, the men here remained and the Kuinact endured. not just as a place, but as a legacy of quiet defiance and hope. Lord Yvain was remembered as a hero who gathered the wise and set out in search of the Grail, while Kuanacht stood as a peaceful haven amid the weirdness. You awakened the giants, and with them at their side, the Dal Rita conquered Camelot. As the capital fell, the customs of the tribes spread across Avallon. Not everyone welcomed them, but the change had already taken root. Fergus was named the new Galahad the Loyal. With One Eye and Brendan backed by the Dal Rita, the Forlorn Swords, he saw that the South's alliance was strong enough to stand on its own. He urged Camelot to leave the South in peace and turned his attention to securing the rest of Avallon. The captain led the South to independence, breaking all ties with Camelot. Under his rule, the Horns of the South flourished. Merchants, pilgrims, and adventurers returned to the roads, and prosperity once again reached the far corners of the land. One Eye ruled the South, with the Horns of the South at his side. Over time, the Dal Rita of the Fallen Swords rallied to his banner, forging a unified force. With the South secured, he stood in a strong position to launch future conquests across Avallon. Nianta left Kuanacht with Yvain, and her fate remained unknown. Yet among the people she once served, tales of her devotion and courage endured, and her name was remembered with respect. Magat left Kuanacht alongside Yvain, surprising many who had long considered him harmless and weak. His fate remained unknown, but in time, the people spoke proudly of the last druid, claiming him as one of their own. Urfra left Kuanacht alongside Yvain, despite concerns about his age. His fate remained unknown, but the people admired him for finding purpose at the end of his life, and spoke of him with lasting respect. Ailey turned to the merchants for support, and for a time the hospital prospered. But when they began charging patients for care, she walked away and opened her own small practice, refusing to serve profit over healing. With Frail as their new matron, the Volca pulled even further away from the Dal Rita. Hidden among the snowy peaks, they focused on rebuilding their tribe and strengthening their numbers. The berserkers they had once been famed for became fewer and fewer, until all that was left was a fading name, half remembered and half feared. Ingrid turned away from the eternal sleep, choosing life over dreams. In time, she began to rebuild the Thoid among the living, planting the first seeds of a new future for her scattered people. Under Dav Hamra's leadership, the Ulf grew stronger but more isolated. The tribe and the Stone Wardens became one, bound by a new symbol of strength, a steady hand against the chaos beyond their borders. Following Glerna's path, the Sven clung to the old ways, their faith sustained by the Stagfather's living presence within the unrealm of the hunt. They turned inward, shunning outsiders, and deepened their devotion to the blood-stained rites of their ancestors. You accepted the mycelium's offer and let the spores consume Sagramor's body. Now the kingdom lies under fungal control, its people connected, obedient, and slowly fading into the roots that feed the spores. You placed self at the head of the children of Morrigan. Operating from the shadows, the Guild reshaped Avalon's politics through quiet influence and assassination. while the people lived unaware of the power that ruled them. You chose to dismantle the children of Morrigan. There were no more crows to carry out her will, for now. Morrigan withdrew into silence, patient as ever, waiting for the day when new souls would rise to serve her again. You chose to free the Four-Dwellers, but captivity had broken their minds. They turned on their savior and were slain. Without the song, the Stone Warden craft ended, and their legacy was lost with the death of the last of their order. After returning to Camelot, Killian lived quietly for a time. When he vanished, few asked questions. Unsettling rumors had always followed him, and most preferred not to remember. O Queen Cinnamon Sage never forgot the bond he shared with you. Proud of the path you chose, he built a small shop near your grave, and in quiet moments, still spoke to you as he once did. A friend loyal beyond the bounds of life.
Ничего не понял, мы же победили этого. Всех победили. Очень странно. Вот, стояли, победили. Так что за странный конец? Какая могила, блин? Так. Три достижения. Король из пепла. Корона из пепла. Заберите корону, которая когда-то подчинила великанов воле короля. Есть всего лишь у 12,2% игроков. О как. 70 с лишним, там под 80% начали. 12,2 добрались до этого. 60 с лишним процентов потерялись где-то по дороге. Тень великанов. Решите, что станет забытыми мечами. И теми, кто остался. Есть у 14%. Король Авалона. Завершите основной сюжет. Есть у 13,1% игроков. Странно. А хотя нет, ну как странно. Закончили сюжетку 13,1, а корону забрали 12,2. А как без короны они могли закончить игру? Что-то я ничего не понимаю. Как 1% мог закончить игру без короны? Тут даже не пройти без короны. Что, может как-то по-другому, что ли, игру закончить? Странно. Загадка. Надо будет, конечно, почитать, сколько вообще там концовок, и что, чего, как. Итак, у нас 34 из 65, это 52%. Ну, в общем, вот так вот. Учитывая, какие здесь концовки, как вот это все сделано, да, то есть напоминает Atomfall в этом плане. Да и нет смысла все концовки пробовать. Ну, прочитает себе. Вот с этим то, с этим то. Это может в интернете прочитать. Ну, тем более, что достижение есть за сюжетку. То есть не за сюжетку, потому что ты вот так вот закончил. А просто за сюжетку, и все. То есть я думаю, что надо посмотреть, конечно, что там у нас не полученное. Ну, не полученного до хрена. Добыча Мари. Попадите в засаду во время ночи Мари. Это как это в засаду? Мягкое подбрюшье. Попадите в мягкое слабое место противника 100 раз. 25 не доделал. Дом, милый дом. Купите себе недвижимость. Ну а нахрена мне этот дом за 20 тысяч? В медвежьих рукавицах. Убейте медведя, используя кулаки. Мои волки лучше твоих. Победите 10 волков, используя призванных волков. Пилигрим диких земель. Посетите все священные места, где сохранилось присутствие отца оленя. 5 не посетишь. Что это за места? Высвобождение легенды. Убейте 5 противников одним использованием силы Артура. Я даже не знаю, как ее использовать. Как мы ее... Как она используется-то? Для исследовательских целей. Найдите все книги про Лилиану. Ну, подождите, я нашел больше, чем 2. Что это за бред? Наследник короля рыбака. Поймайте проби каждого из видов на Авалоне. Да мне что, делать нечего, что ли? Из скрытых 22 штуки. Вот такие дела. Ну что же, еще дело сишка впереди, не знаю, сколько она продолжительностью. Ну, в общем, думаю, что до следующего стрима почитаю, что там у нас с концовками. Если там ничего такого экстраординарного, то просто DLC-шку пройдем, да и все. Вот такие дела. Все, друзья. Хорошего всем дня. И заходите на огонек, как всегда, будет страшно весело, жутко интересно у нас на Авалоне, где мы закончили сюжетку. И если ничего там такого нету, то пройдем DLC-шку и все, в общем-то, как бы попрощаемся с игрой и погрузимся в мир Resident Evil. Все, увидимся. До встречи. Пока.